After the surprising success of my Moves That Pokemon Should Learn video, I of course got some requests to make a part 2, but this time, not only am I going to go over Pokemon not being able to learn a move that I think it should, I'm also going to do the opposite, going through moves that Pokemon can have, but in my opinion they shouldn't. Now there are a lot of cases of Pokemon being able to learn moves that most people would find surprising, so I'm not going to be able to cover them all, so I'm only going to be covering the ones that I find most interesting, and that I can also rant about, and try not to cover the ones that have already been covered to death. Yes, I know, Doduo can fly, Wooper and Ghastly can punch, whatever. So with all that said, here are 10 moves that Pokemon should learn that don't, and 10 moves that Pokemon shouldn't learn but do, in my opinion anyway. Number 1. Diglett can learn Sucker Punch. This can be seen as much stranger than Diglett being able to learn Scratch. It is believed that Diglett and Dugtrio do have feet, so I guess they could slash the opponent with their feet, even though they never show their feet. Or maybe, I don't know, they could scratch with their nose. A punch is a strike or a blow with a fist. What? I guess you could argue that Sucker Punch is just a blow made without warning, so it doesn't include having to hit with a fist. But the biggest problem is that Scrafty doesn't get Sucker Punch, yet Diglett and Dugtrio do. Number 2. Ambipom can't learn Tail Slap. Okay, I find this pretty funny that the Pokemon that Tail Slap looks like it was made for doesn't get it. I mean, a slap with the tail. It even has hands on the tail to slap with. The reason I see Aipom and Ambipom not getting Tail Slap is because it's the signature move of Minccino and Chinchino, but both Vulpix and Weasel get Tail Slap as an egg move, so why not Aipom and Ambipom? Come on, they get Double Slap, which I can bet they're slapping their opponent with their tail. Number 3. Jigglypuff and Clefable can learn Strength. These small, cute, innocent looking fairies are somehow strong enough to move boulders. Xerneas, the Pokemon of Life, Yveltal, the Pokemon of Destruction, and even the 21-foot Hooper Unbound are unable to move a boulder. But don't worry, because Jigglypuff and Clefable can. Number 4. Noivern can't learn Dragon Tail. I think I'd expect any dragon type with a tail to be able to learn this move. Noivern instead is able to learn Iron Tail. So why not the tail move that Noivern actually shares a type with? Now I know what some of you are thinking. Primeape can learn Iron Tail, yet it doesn't have a tail. I mastered Iron Tail without a tail. And do you know what that means? Yes, I do. It means that you use Iron Tail with your So while yes, this is a move that Primeape shouldn't learn, it isn't as bad because it's a move that Mankey gets access to that Primeape can keep when it evolves. What I think is worse is that Noibat can learn Iron Tail, even though it doesn't have a tail. They could have had Noibat not being able to learn Iron Tail, then allow it when it evolves into Noivern. But no. Speaking of Mankey and Primeape. Number 5. Mankey and Primeape can learn Overheat. Now this just seems kind of random. They can't learn other special fire moves like Flamethrower and Fire Blast, but they can learn Overheat? Is that supposed to be a reference to their hot-headedness? Oh yeah, they can also learn Thunderbolt and Thunder. Okay. Number 6. Pinsir can't learn Megahorn. What? So do these things on its head not count as horns? Oh wait, they are horns. Was Megahorn just a move for Heracross to show off that Pinsir couldn't get? Come on, Absol gets Megahorn, but Pinsir doesn't. In fact, on second glance, Pinsir doesn't get any horn-related attacks. So I guess Game Freak don't count these as horns then? Oh wait, they do count them as horns! This is just as bad as a dragon with a tail not being able to learn Dragon Tail. Oh wait. Number 7. Zubat can learn Mean Look, a probing stare that prevents the target from escaping. How? I don't understand. Wait, is Zubat hiding its eyes up his ass? Where are they? Now whenever Mean Look has been used in the anime, the user's eyes are shown to be glowing. So if Zubat used this move, what would happen? I mean, if it can use Mean Look, it's got to have an eye hiding somewhere, right? Wait, hang on. What's that? Number 8. Machamp can't learn Mach Punch. Come on, Mach is even in its name! You'd think that a Pokemon that is somehow able to launch 1000 punches in just 2 seconds would be able to learn a move that has the user throw an incredibly fast punch that always lands first. Sure, it gets Bullet Punch, but there's no reason why it shouldn't get Mach Punch as well. Number 9. Aggron and Rhyperior can learn Surf. Both these Pokemon are pretty much on the list for the same reason. They're both Pokemon that look like they'd sink in water before they'd be able to swim in it. And they're also weak to water. Even Aggron's hidden ability is Heavy Metal, which doubles the Pokemon's weight. I mentioned last time that Rhydon can learn Surf, which also doesn't seem right. There are of course other Pokemon that can learn stuff that seem like they shouldn't be able to, but Aggron and Rhyperior are two of the worst cases. Number 10. Rayquaza can't learn Sky Attack. What? The Sky High Pokemon, who is based on the unconquerable primal master of the sky, which lives in the sky, that's found in locations called the Sky Pillar, the Sky Tower, the Sky Stairway, Conductor Room King of the Sky, Sky High Ruins, and the Sky Crest Range, can't learn Sky Attack. Yeah, that doesn't make any sense. Number 11. Gallade can learn Leaf Blade. Okay, so I get the blade part, but not so much the leaf part. The description of Leaf Blade says the user uses a sharp leaf as if it were a sword. So can Gallade turn his arm into a leaf? Every other Pokemon that can learn Leaf Blade makes sense to be able to learn it, and the only non-grass type that can learn Leaf Blade apart from Gallade is Farfetch'd. But Farfetch'd makes sense to be able to learn it since it's holding a leek. Gallade doesn't have leaves for arms, it isn't holding a leaf, it isn't even a grass type, but it gets a move that requires the user has a leaf. Okay. Number 12. Nuzleaf can't learn Grasswhistle. Have you seen some of Nuzleaf's Pokédex entries? This Pokemon pulls out the leaf on its head and makes a flute with it. The sound of its grass flute makes listeners uneasy. So if it can make music out of leaves, why can't it learn Grasswhistle? Oh, would you look at that? It's yet another move that it can't learn in the games but it can use in the anime. But why not the games as well? Number 13. Emboar can learn Scold. A water type being able to use fire moves is weird as it is, but a fire type being able to use water moves is arguably more confusing. Volcanion is one of the few exceptions to this because it's both fire and water type. I guess you could say it's okay for Emboar to be able to learn Scold, since it has the user shooting scalding hot water at the opponent with the chance to burn. But aside from Emboar and Volcanion, there are no other fire types that are able to learn Scold. So it just seems weird for Emboar of all fire Pokemon to be able to learn this water type move. Number 14. Ampharos can't learn Tail Glow. It's the light Pokemon. Its name is a combination of Amp and Pharos, Greek for lighthouse. Here's Jasmine's Ampharos lighting up a lighthouse with its tail, yet it can't learn Tail Glow. So for some moves I've talked about before, a specific Pokemon not getting a specific move might be because it'd be too strong, like Diglett not getting Guillotine for example. So yes, Tail Glow would be strong on Ampharos, but I don't know if it would necessarily break the metagame. I mean, come on, it's basically a walking lighthouse that even lit up a lighthouse with its tail, yet it doesn't know the move Tail Glow. Number 15. Barboach and Corphish can learn Dragon Dance. So for the most part, non-dragon types that get the move Dragon Dance have either dragon or reptilian-like qualities. Barboach is based on a fish, and Corphish is based on a crab. The user vigorously performs a mystic, powerful dance. Does this dance include flopping about in the mud and moving side to side? Number 16. Garbodor, get this, can't learn Poison Jab. Are you kidding me? The foe is stabbed with a tentacular arm steeped in poison. Are you telling me that Garbodor is unable to use its poisonous arms to jab the opponent when there are so many other non-poison types that can? Seriously, Garbodor of all Pokemon can't learn Poison Jab. That is f***ing absurd. Number 17. Sedinja can learn Substitute, Rest, and Final Gambit. Okay, this is just funny. For a Pokemon that only has 1 HP, these moves have 0 uses. Seriously, you might as well replace these moves with Splash. It's just as useful. For those of you unfamiliar with the move Final Gambit, or don't know what it does, it's a move that deals damage equal to the user's HP, which means if Sedinja uses this move, it'll sacrifice its own life to deal 1 damage. So if you think about it, it's even worse than Splash. What a waste. Number 18. Clauncher can't learn Rock Smash. Now at first you might think, oh well that's not that bad, until you read some of its dex entries. Through controlled expulsions of internal gas, it can expel water like a pistol shot. At close distances, it can shatter rock. So, if it can shatter rock at close distances, why can't it learn the move that shatters rock at close distances? Seriously, this wouldn't be a problem if it wasn't for the Pokédex entry. Similarly to how Machamp can somehow throw 1,000 punches in 2 seconds, and not being able to learn the move where the Pokemon throws a very fast punch. Number 19. Way too many Pokemon learn the moves Rain Dance and Sunny Day. Seriously, at some point, look up the Pokemon that are able to learn these two moves. So many Pokemon learn them that you wouldn't guess at first glance. Let's take a look at some of my favourites. Pidgeot and Staraptor can learn both Rain Dance and Sunny Day. Yeah, they can't peck, but they can summon the weather. The Zubat line can learn both Rain Dance and Sunny Day. The Tyranitar line, the Pokemon that cause a sandstorm every time they enter the field, can learn both Rain Dance and Sunny Day. But here's my personal favourite. Flareon, Entei, Heatmor, and Pyroar can all learn Rain Dance. Why? And more importantly, how? Delphox is a fire type that makes sense to be able to summon the rain because it's a psychic type. But what about these four? How can Heatmor make it rain? Yes, I know there are other fire types that can learn Rain Dance, and there are water types that can learn Sunny Day, but these four fire types being able to summon the rain just seems really weird to me. And finally, number 20. Growlithe can't learn... Oh, you've got to be kidding me. Growlithe can't learn Growl. Is this a joke? You know, we're 6, almost 7 generations in and Growlithe can't learn the move that's in its own name. That is just f***ing illogical! That's basically the equivalent of Lickitung not being able to learn oh wait, bad example. But still, Lickitung eventually got the move Lick, and by eventually I mean the generation after Lickitung was released. We're almost at Gen 7, and Growlithe is unable to growl! What the f- So there you have it. Even more Pokemon moves that Pokemon do get that probably shouldn't, or moves that Pokemon don't get and... oh, you know. Anyway, I really hope you enjoyed this Pokemon move video just as much, if not more than the last one. Please leave a like if you did, and subscribe for more Pokemon videos in the future. And until next time, thanks so much for watching.